Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Today I'm going to be pruning up my royal oaks. I grew these trees from a seed or an acorn and they're doing quite well. I think on the main tree I need to do some fairly severe cuts on it. The smaller tree is developing quite nicely, so it'll be a matter of some branch selection on that tree. And I also got a new pot from the thrift store. Here is a look at the royal oaks. So you can see I got a lot of good branching this year, but I'm thinking I've got this central trunk growing up, and it comes up and then it has this kind of kink in it, or yeah, sort of S-shaped trunk. And my goal was to grow it like an upright kind of, like a natural looking oak, and I'm thinking maybe I need to reduce it back. I'll have to think about it. The other one is doing really well. I've got some good upright branches all over the tree. And here's the new pot I got today at the thrift store. So it's a really nice pot. Yeah, really nice. Very thin walled. Beautiful blue glaze on it. And it's from Japan, because on the bottom it says, where is it now? Right here it says Fuji, Japan on the bottom. So that's kind of cool. I don't know if you can see that, but that's what it says. And it has a little under tray for it. And that was $5.49, but I had a 20% off coupon. So I got it for a little cheaper, $4 something. Yeah, I think that was a good find, and it's kind of a unique shape. I don't think I have any pots this shape. So yeah, I'll have to plant something in that. That'll be exciting for the future. So now I've got to make some decisions on these royal oaks. I'm having a look at the upright structure on the royal oak and trying to decide what I want to do with it. I kind of want to grow it up like a straight trunk and then a branches growing upwards into a crown, just like the smaller one here. But it's got this big bend and then goes upright into a nice crown up top. But I'm wondering, do I want that kind of bend here? I was trying to develop this branch to kind of counteract that, so I get a bit of a crown, but this one's so thick compared to this one that I think it's just not looking so good. I think maybe I have this branch, this one. So maybe I could cut it off here and develop my branches from there. It's also getting very tall and the trunk isn't thickening up that fast. So I'm thinking, if I grow it shorter and then start growing the branches, it'll someday be in better proportions. I think this branch, I don't think it survived. There was a bud on it, but I don't think that developed over the summer, so I think this branch died off. And if I start going higher, then I'll never get this thickness and this one more equal. So, what to do? I could cut that entire branch off the top, keeping this part, developing this branch and this branch up into the apex. Might be good if I prune it, keeping this branch. I think I still have too thick a section here. So I think I'll have to take it off here. That's what I'm thinking. Just cut the whole top off the tree and then try and develop an upright broom style structure to it. Yeah, I think that's the solution. So here I go. Okay, I've got my ratcheting pruners. This oak wood should be fairly tough. So I'm thinking, there's a bit of a collar here. You can see I pruned the top off this at one time. So I'm thinking of taking that whole thing off. So here I go, a big cut coming up. line it up, and here I go. Click, click, click. Done. Take that whole top off the tree. The top was developing nicely. I think this will help. I think it'll develop it better. So I'd better seal that cut up. It's quite a big wound. So I've got my rubber cement and I'll just seal it up like that. That gets the height of the tree down too. Okay, I think that's good on that tree. I may prune this lower branch also. Let's have a look at that. So here's a look at the lower branch. So I have an upwards part that's growing quite nicely. I could prune it. There's a bud on the top here, one on the side, one at the back. So I think I'll take it off here, shortening that. And then on these other branches, I can clean my stubs up. And then I've got to shorten this one. And this one I'll keep as a horizontal branch, so I'll prune to this downward facing bud here. And also on this branch, maybe even to one that's reaching out more, so I'll prune it to here. I've got one that's kind of cascading here, which is good, and a left and right one, and this one's fine. So I think that's good on that tree. I think it's got it pruned up. I won't touch the buds on the upper part. I think those are all good. So next comes the smaller tree. I think I had better defoliate it, and I think it's just a matter of kind of shaking the tree. The leaves are ready to fall off anyway. So this is an English oak, Quercus robur, but it's a royal oak. It's a special one that was brought over from England for the coronation of King George. It has very small leaves for an oak, and yeah, it's a good grower. So there it is, defoliated now. So let's work on that tree. Okay, so let's start with this branch. It's getting very upright, which is okay, but I don't want it taller than the tree itself. So I have a bud on the outside here, so I think I'll prune just above there. Like that. This branch here, I've got a good bud on the back here. I think I'll prune it off just above there, like that. And then I've got kind of a multitude of branches here. If I keep this upright one and this upright one, maybe this one, but I don't think I need the one on the inside here, so I'll take it out. That cleans that branch up nicely. This one I think is fairly good, except this one's shooting straight upwards. And I do have buds each side here, so I'll at least take the tip off and then see what happens. I may develop it from this leader eventually and prune that off. We'll see how it does. This branch here, which is coming off of this branch, it doesn't flow the greatest. This branch is radial in this direction, and this one kind of goes out the back. It's okay, but it's going to be a future problem, so I'm thinking I should just remove it. If this branch were more forward, I could keep both of these as branch leaders, but this one's radial and this one isn't, so I'm going to take it off. It's a bit of a big cut, but I think for the future of the tree it'll be better. So off it comes, like that. And I've got another branch coming up here. It's getting quite straight. I've got a bud on the outside here, so I'll take it off just above there. And I'm going up into the apex here. There's a small branch back here, which is okay. Oh, actually, that one's broken. It's dead. Okay. So I have two opposite branches here. This one's growing right above this one, whereas this one has its own spot of sunlight, so maybe that one should come off. I think so. Keeping this one instead. Now, up in the apex here. Outside today, we have the winter storm coming now. It was supposed to start last night, and we did get some snow last night, but not a lot. But today, it's coming down. So you can see all the snow falling now. High winds. Yeah, it's a pretty nasty day out. So we were supposed to have the meeting of the Kitchener-Waterloo Bonsai Society tonight, but the meeting was canceled. They didn't want people driving in this weather, which is a good thing, because I didn't want to drive in the weather either. So we just closed the door of the greenhouse and forget about the weather, and now I can prune up the apex of my smaller royal oak. Okay, so the upper structure. So it's tempting to keep all these branches. It looks great when it's in leaf. You get this nice full canopy. But you have to remember that all these are going to thicken up. And the primary goal at this stage is to develop a nice basic branch structure, not to get fine twigging all over or branching all over. It's develop the basic structure that you can then build on in the future. So I'm looking at this branch here. I've got one growing straight vertical here I can prune away. That one's gone. And then this one goes vertical, but it has one coming out the front, which might be nice. Kind of redirecting it a bit. So I think it would either be this one out the front or this one to the side that I would keep. There's one small one back here. I'll definitely prune this one. It's crossing back over the design, so that comes off. The vertical one and the back one can come off. They're growing kind of in a funny direction, so they can come off. That leaves me with these two. I could keep both. You know, this branch coming up and dividing to two. Might look good. I could prune this tip bud off. I will. This branch, it's got a strong bud here, and then there's some budding out on this new section. I'll prune it off to here, keeping some of that new branch there. The one below, I've got a bud on the bottom, so I'm going to prune it off to there, keeping it this part flatter and these ones more upright. So this is a little awkward with it growing straight up and then out, but I think that'll make sense as it thickens up. Now on my very vertical apex here, I've got a branch coming out the back and one at the front here, and they're opposite each other, so one of them has to go. And which one? Both fill in an area. This back one kind of fills in back here, and the front one kind of fills in the front section. But I do have back branches here, so I think if I had to choose, I'd keep my one out the front. So I'm going to get rid of the back one. Like that. And then, directly above that, I have a cluster of branches here. And I have one directly above this lower one I'm going to take away. Don't want one branch above the other. And then I can either continue the vertical part like this, or prune it back and keep my two branches fanning out. I think I want to grow the vertical section, keep that strong, so I'm going to keep this vertical part. This branch is kind of growing above the one below it, and this one is growing above the other branch, so they're not in ideal locations. I think if I was to keep one, I would keep this one and prune this one away. Like that. Because I have the strong branch here. So on that branch, I've got a vertical one I can take off here. Get in there. My scissors, I was working on the one day and it caught on my coat or something and it fell off the bench and it broke the tip off my scissors here. So I've got one long tip and one shorter one, so I'm going to have to grind them down to a point carefully. So it's a little awkward using these scissors at the moment. It's too bad, they were my favorite pair of scissors. And they'll become good again someday. So following this one, I've got this branch. It reaches out. There's a good one here. I've got, these ones are kind of staggered, but they're pretty close to each other. I'm looking for buds on the outside. I've got one here, one way up top. I'll at least prune it to here. And this back one, there's kind of a one fanning out and the other one goes right vertical, so I'm going to get rid of the vertical section like that. And then I'll want to reduce this one. I've got a bud on the outside here, so I'll take it off here. And this one I have a bud here on the outside, so I'll take it off there. The lower branch, I got a bud on the bottom, so I'll take it off to that lower bud. And I think that has it pruned up. This branch is a little strong, so maybe I should kind of reduce the vigor of it. It's maybe too strong. I could take this entire thick section off and just keep these two branches, which I think would be a good idea. I think that's just getting too strong, so I'm going to take that whole vertical section off. Here I go, like that. And this one, it's kind of straight here. It's not too bad. I better leave it. There is buds here. I could prune it back a little more. There. And this one, I even have a bud here. I could prune it back further. It's a little tall. There. This one, that's okay. Okay, that's got that pruned up. There is, this one is getting a little strong down below. Let's have a look at that again. Yeah, this one here, I do have a bud on the outside here. I could take it back further to there. I think that's better. Okay, I think that's got my Royal Oaks pruned up. Let's have a look at them. So there is a look at the two Royal Oaks. This one's looking very graceful and flowing. This one, I think it'll get there. It just needs some growing now. Develop this canopy. Yeah, I think it'll get there. Yeah, so they're coming along quite nicely, you know, considering they're grown from seeds. Before I put the Royal Oaks back on the bench, I'm just checking for weeds, and it's quite weed free, which is amazing. This layer of moss kept the weeds off. There is a little one here I can pull out. And a couple here, just little tiny weeds that are forming. I think that's got it. It's looking pretty good. So I will be repotting these this spring. I didn't repot them last year, so it'll be interesting to see what the root base is like down underneath this moss. You can see the base of the trunk. Moss is getting quite deep. Same with this tree. Yeah, so it'll be exciting to see what the roots look like in spring. I pruned up my Royal Oaks today, so I thought I might as well prune up my Pyramidal English Oak today also. I got this tree from Matt. It was a small seedling he dug up, and he wasn't sure what kind of oak it was, and it turns out it's a Pyramidal English oak. So I'm going to grow it in that style, into a pyramidal style, kind of a conical style, I guess you would call it. And it's thickened up quite a bit. It's grown quite well this summer. So I think the first step will be to remove the leaves. I think they like to hang on to the leaves until spring, but you know, with a bit of persuasion they come off quite easily, some of them. Some of them don't want to come off. I may have to prune them off. I'll come in with my little scissors and just prune them off, leaving the leaf petiole attached to the tree, or the leaf stem. If this tree were outside, these leaves would help protect the buds from the wind, to help it stop drying out the buds. But because it's in the greenhouse here, I don't need to keep the leaves on all winter. They can come off and it won't hurt the tree at all. There's a pyramidal oak a couple of blocks away in the neighborhood, and it keeps its leaves right until spring. And it's a good, it's not a really mature one, but it's kind of shows what a pyramidal oak looks like as it matures. And I've seen some fairly old ones. They can look quite nice. It's an unusual style for an oak, but you don't want every one of your trees to be the exact same style. Yeah, these winter storms, it stopped snowing now, but with this high wind, you don't want to be out on the highway. You can get whiteouts, you get heavy snow, and it's really hard to see. Especially when the road turns white and at nighttime. Yeah, you don't want to be on the roads. I'm glad they canceled the meeting, I think, for everyone's safety. Okay, so that is defoliated now. So here is a look at the tree. So I think my first step will be to reduce the height. I don't want it growing really huge. I want to keep that pyramidal shape. So I think I've got a good leader here. I could prune it off right there, and I think I will. So we'll come in with the ratcheting pruners and take that branch off, that top off. And then I'll want to prune this one to an upwards facing bud. So I'll prune it right here. That'll keep it kind of growing vertically. And then I've got to prune up all the other branches. So there is a look at the tree now. So I think I'll start with these lower branches. Here you can see there's a big cluster of buds at the tip here. Further down the branch I have a few buds. There's one here and one here. If I want to keep my pyramidal form, I want the lower branches to be a little longer and get shorter as I go up. So I think I'll keep the length in the lower one, but I will prune this one that's growing kind of vertically or back in towards the center of the tree. Take that one off. I'll clean up my stub here. Like that's good. And maybe just take the tip bud off here. Like that. This one, it's doing quite well. There's a stub here. I don't think I want to touch that one. I could prune out the tip bud. I think I will with the small scissors. There. If I go around now, I've got this one, 2 branches fanning outwards. I'll take off this section here, this vertical part, like that. There's a stub here. There's a stub here. And again, I don't think I want to touch them other than maybe taking out the tip bud, but this is pretty tight. I think I'll leave that. I'll leave that for spring. The next branch, Got some buds fanning out here. Again, it's a lower branch. I want to keep it a little longer. If I pruned it back to this outward facing bud here, it's a little short. And maybe it'd get too spreading. So I think I'll leave that. So we'll go up the tree. This is the next branch. And I've got an outward facing bud here, so I can take the top off. Like that. This branch, I've got 2 buds back here. I think I'll take it back to those. And then this one, I've got a bud here, one here. So I think I'll take the tip off. Like that. And then the next branch up is this one. I've got a stub I can clean up here. From the last time I pruned it. I've got an outward facing bud here. There's one on the inside here. I think I'll take it off to there. This one, I've got an outward facing bud up here, so I'll take it off to there. The next branch is this one. This branch is kind of growing kind of parallel to the trunk line. That's not so good. There is a bud at the base here facing a good direction, so I think I'll take it right off. Developing that bud at the base. And this one, I've got a good outward facing bud here, so I can take the top off. Like that. This old leader here, it died off. It never grew. So I'm going to take it off. It's a dead branch. Like that. And then my next branch is this one. I've got an outward facing bud here, so I'll take it off to that. This one I got an outward facing bud here, which is good. I pruned the top and the top there, so that's got it pruned up. It's, you know, getting there. The form's not quite there. This one's kind of long. I better prune it back to this bud. I think it's just getting too long, that one. Yeah, I think that's it then. It's still kind of that pyramidal form or conical form. Yeah, we'll see how it does this next year. This is another tree that I'll be repotting this spring. That's got my English oaks pruned up, but there is one more oak I'm going to prune today, and that's my Cork Bark Oak that Philippe sent the seeds to Blue Jay Bonsai, and he germinated them and gave me one. Here is a look at the Cork Bark Oak. So it grew really well this summer despite the small pot. And the reason I put it in this small pot is that the roots hadn't reached out for a bigger pot yet, so I didn't want to overpot it. So I think this spring I'll repot it and it'll get a bigger pot because it grew so well this year. Some trees liked the heat of the summer and some didn't. This tree really liked the heat of the summer, so it grew really strongly. So I'll prune it up today. This tree was grown from a seed, and you can see the trunk is getting quite thick. It's about the size of my pinky now. So I'm looking at the styling of it. I've got an awkward branch going from the inside of a curve here that could be pruned away. So I'll get rid of that. That's gone. This one died off, unfortunately. That was a good branch, but... And then I think I need to reduce the height of the tree. I've taken a big cut here. It's kind of regrown. So, where to take it back to? I think you can see it grows straight from here all the way up. So I need to prune it fairly short. I've got a leaf out the front, one out the back, one over here. So I think I don't want this getting too long, this straight section. I think I'm going to take it off here. So here I go. Big cut coming up. Done. So that reduces the height of the tree quite a bit. So now I can prune up the rest of the branches. Okay. So let's start with this long branch going up here. Again, I don't want, big, long, straight branches. So I do have a branch or a leaf coming off down here that will form a new branch, so I'll take it off to there. This one's dead, I might as well remove it. This branch tip's dead here, take that off. There's another branch that died off here, I can take that off. This one, it's a little horizontal, this branch. I'd rather it reaching upwards. I do have a bud on the top here. I think I'll take the tip off. Like that. I'm trying to redirect that branch more upwards. And then I've just got to look at my basic branch structure, make sure there's not too many branches growing from the same place. I'm wondering about this little branch. It's kind of close to this one. I think that one needs to come off. So off it comes. And you can see this branch. This branch is fine. Yeah, I could take, this one's getting a little straight. I'll take the tip off it. And this branch, already taken the tip off. I've got a good shoot here. I think the branch opposite it died back here. I'll take that off. It's dead. Yeah. It's getting a little long and straight, this branch. I think I'll leave it. I think it's okay. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. I think the tree's looking quite nice. Yeah, so I'll repot that in spring. There's the scientific name, Cork Bark Oak, Quercus suber, temperate evergreen from Philippe in Portugal. Yeah, so thanks Philippe, it's coming along nicely. It's looking like a tree already. Here's an update to my Pyrenean Oak. This was given to me by Dave from Blue Sky Bonsai. And it grew this year, but not too much. I would say it more survived. It didn't put on, a huge amount of growth. You can see it's full of buds for next year. So I'm just going to leave this one. I'm not going to prune it. I will take off this one dead branch here. And I could clean up a stub on it. And a stub here. One here. That's about it. Yeah, I think that's okay. I can pull a weed out here. And another one here. Yeah, so that's a look at the Pyrenean Oak. Yeah, it's growing quite compactly, which is good to keep it small and miniature looking. I did seal the top cut on my Cork Bark Oak, so that's sealed up. That's got a few of my oaks pruned up. I have some other ones, some native oaks, that I'll be pruning up in future videos. I never had any oaks in my collection, and I always wanted one. They're beautiful trees in nature, just majestic. And so I made an effort over a couple of years to get a lot of oaks going, some from seeds. I was given some. I purchased some at a native plant sale. So I have lots of oak trees on the go now, which is kind of exciting because I really like oaks. So that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.